Before we get started, I just have a couple of things I'd like to talk about. We're 13 videos in now, and Collarbones Carpentry, although I like the name, I think that it's not going to be very fitting for the future videos of this channel. So as of this video today, we're going to call the channel DIY with Si, and hopefully that will cover a whole wide range of future projects and not just wood. It's going to be predominantly wood, but it'll give us the option to do other things as well, not relating to carpentry. I've also been sent out 2 stickers from 2 YouTubers. We have Project Man, who is Gary Butler. He's been a big supporter of the channel and has plugged this channel several times. And then we've got his father, Martin Butler from Retro Restore, and they've kindly sent us some stickers. So I'm going to pop these on the whiteboard. On there. On there. I'll leave links to their channels in the description below. It's just very much one-man bands in their garden. They're doing up lawnmowers, doing garden projects, scooters, motorbikes, a whole wide range of things. Okay, so let's get started. Today we're going to make a deck in the garden. Lockdown 1, about a year ago, we built the tree house. Loads of use during the summer, but then winter came. It was cold, wet, damp, and we spent a lot of our time indoors. We have a dead space over here. All the rain pours down the grass there. It tends to gather down there. It's overgrown with weeds, it's not pretty, and it's not a usable space. But... You wave, Sam? Okay, the wife would like a mud kitchen in that corner there. I think we need to get it off the ground a bit though, so that you know, the timber isn't making contact with the ground. So I think we're going to jack it up, we're going to make a deck, and we'll build the mud kitchen on top of the deck there, making that a far more usable space. So I think the first job what we need to do is clear away, you know, all of this mess, strip away some of this ivy. We need to keep the netting up there so that the chickens don't jump over the wall. But either way, this decking is going to be a perfect way to hide the mess down in this garden. We've got the oil line there, we've got the armoured cable going into the shed. I don't know what the corrugated pipe is for, but either way, the deck will set up against that, it will hide most of it, and hopefully tidy up this corner of the garden. In the she shed here, we have these brackets. These are chock-a-block with timber that had been given to us kindly by a landscape gardener who generally builds deckings. He had plenty of offcuts. I didn't realise quite how much there was there because it's been, you know, a good year or so since it's been in there. It's lovely and dry, it still looks brand new. And so hopefully with all of this, we've got some 4x2s here. So these are going to make great for joists. We have a couple of gravel boards, which is like a 1x6 or something. And then we have your standard decking boards. Some of these are about 8 foot in length, so they're plenty big enough. Sorry about that, duty calls. The little one had to go to the bathroom. He always picks his moments. So I'm really hoping, we're still in a lockdown here in the UK, and nipping to the DIY store is not a great idea. You know, if you can stay at home, do so. We're going to use what we've got. I'm sure I've got enough screws. With the treehouse there, we're going to be able to use some of the internal studs off that to go off because they're cemented into the ground, the posts. And then in this back corner here, I've got some blocks, some bricks, which will raise the timber off the ground. Hopefully that's going to be nice and sturdy. The only thing we do have to make sure of is in this corner here, we have an oil tank. Our house is on oil. We need to make sure that the delivery driver delivering the oil can still get to it. But it shouldn't be a problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure up. I'm going to get the miter saw out for a change. I generally use the table saw, but I'll use the miter saw and we'll go from there. Half an hour later, and I'm sure you can hear it in my voice, I'm knackered. These are 3 blocks and then 4 blocks that were previously cemented together and upright on their sides. They've been jacked up. We have bricks underneath, and they are now to the level where an 8-foot length I can push right up to the treehouse there. I can do a like an end plate up against the side of the treehouse, and then we can have a couple of these rails here, these joists, and it's going to be off the ground. These are solid, so these timbers here are never going to be in contact with any of the pooling water around the bottom area. They go to about here, so we're going to have to sort of stagger the joints, and we could do maybe a couple of rule plugs and then go off that block work there. We also have the corner post of the workshop here, which is more than strong enough to take any of the extra weight. We're going to come out about this far. Looking at the height of it already, I think we're going to need a little step to get onto the deck, but yeah, it's going to really tidy up this back area and make it usable rather than just dead space. Right, off camera, I've attached these 2 running joists with screws coming in from this angle. I knew that when I attached the plate here that I wouldn't have the access, and towing the screws in from the side isn't going to be as strong. Now, the screws I'm using, at least for this sole plate here, are these ones here. These are coach screws, and very similar to a regular screw. However, not only do they have like a hex head, but they also have like an inbuilt washer. So as I'm screwing in, that washer, rather than a countersunk screw, which is one like that, the countersink screw can get lost into the wood. The coach screw is going to stay proud, but it's also going to suck the timber close to the thing you're screwing it into. So I've got a 4x4 post. You can just see the edge of the 4x4 post there, and then I've got a post coming down here, so right into that end there. I'll do a couple of screws in each side, and that should more than enough hold the weight of 2 children. Okay, you join me about an hour later or so, and we're pretty much there with the joists, the noggins, the underall framework of it all, and walking across the span of it, it's got 0 whip. The breeze blocks was perfect for leveling it all out there. Now, one thing I'm finding is the timber is all varying in sizes, so I've had to kind of find a happy medium. Although they're 4x2s, some of them are about 4.5, some of them are about 3.5, and some are dead on 4. So a happy medium, and then I'm hoping that when the decking boards go over the top, it'll all be nice and level. So in this corner here, I've added a small piece there. I've SDS'd in and put 3 coach screws in. So I've got a fixing point there. I was able to go into the corner of the workshop here with a couple of screws, and then a couple of screws in the corner here, and that's made that nice and strong. A couple of screws here, and then this span here, and then these are going to be sort of perfect intervals for the decking boards. Don't forget, the decking boards are almost an inch thick. They're not thin boards. So overall, this is how we're looking. I tend to go sort of as much under this oil tank as I can, and I'm hoping to get a nice curve around the bottom of the tree there. I have had to use a couple of bricks there just to support that, but I'm hoping that the gravel board will be perfect for sort of hiding as much of this as possible. Okay, so that's part one finished. As you can see, I had to roll over into Sunday as well. I was kidding myself that along with daily duties, I'd be able to finish it all in one day. So far, only one trip to B&Q for extra materials. I think we're now about 15–20 pounds in with a few extra decking boards. The amount I had over there, it still wasn't quite enough to finish the whole top and the steps. The steps were like absolutely fine. They're nice and wide, they're 2 treads deep and 1 tread high. Sam's able to go up the steps fine, and when Toby's of age, I'm sure he'll be fine too. So this one's getting to, about 10–15 minute stage now, and I'm going to roll it into a 2-parter where we will try and tackle the mud kitchen. Okay, so thank you for watching. Always remember to like and subscribe. Have a good day.